Please join me in Gashto. Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our regular Sunday service. Welcome to those who are here today, as well as those who are joining by Zoom. Today's service is a little different from our usual service because normally we have an English service at 10 a.m. and a Japanese service from 11:30, but today we're doing a joint service starting at 10:30. And the reason being is that from 12 o'clock today, we have our Keiro Kai. 皆さんおはようございます。ようこそ本日の、特別な合同礼拝に、皆さんお参りしていただきました。普段だったら英語のお参りを 10時から、そして日本語のお参りを分けて11時半からやるんですが、今日は敬老会ということで、その敬老会が12時から正午から始まるので、今日は特別に合同礼拝となります。So I'd like to begin this morning's service with a moment of silent meditation, followed by the recitation of the name of the Buddha or the Nembutsu. それでは黙想と念仏で今日のお参りを始めたいと思います。Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs, Naman Nobs. Okay, next we're going to have the Vandana Tisarana. For those that are here in the purple Satan, it's on page 325. Is it 320? 325? Yeah. それでは引き続き、バンダナティサラナ皆さんと一緒にいただきたいと思います。紫の聖典の325ページになっています。For those who are able to, please stand as we recite the Bandana Tisarana. For those of you at home, it is on their screen. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. Dharma saranam gacchami. I go to the Dharma for guidance. Sangha gacchami. I no one knows. No one knows. Please be seated. And next we will be reading the homage and three treasures, which you'll find on page 10 and 11 of your Seiten. We'll be reading it both in English and in Japanese. 英語と日本語で第3問、帰教問をいただきたいと思います。本土に、参加されている方は10ページ目に日本語、紫のセーターですね。10ページ目に日本語になっています。で、まず英語で11ページの英語を一緒に拝読して、その後日本語を拝読したいと思います。For those of you at home, it is on your screen. 本土の皆さんの一応映っています。Homage. Hard it is to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult it is to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we are hearing them. If we do not gain emancipation in the present life, we may not be free from sorrow in the oceans of births and deaths. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures. We go to the Buddha for guidance. May we always walk in the way that leads to enlightenment. Everyone, we go to the Buddha for guidance. May we always walk in the way that leads to enlightenment. We go to the Dharma for guidance. May we be submerged in the depth of the teachings and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. Everyone, we go to the Dharma for guidance. May we be submerged in the depth of the teachings and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. We go to the Sangha for guidance. May we all with one accord live the life of harmony in the spirit of oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. Everyone, to Sangha for guidance. May we all with one accord live the life of harmony in the spirit of oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriads of kalpas, hard it is to hear such excellent and profound teachings. Now we are able to hear and receive them. Let us try to understand the Tathagata's teachings. Okay, now I'm just going to mute everyone again. Somebody's unmuted. Okay. And we will then have now the Japanese version of that, the Sankyemon, Kyomon on page 10. 10ページ目の帰教問をいただきたいと思います。人参受けがたし、今すでに受く、仏法聞きがたし、今すでに聞く、好み根性に向かってどせずんば、さらにいずれの章に向かってか好みをどせん、大衆もろともに指針に参謀に帰依し立て祀るべし。自ら仏に帰依し立て祀る。まさに願わくは主情とともに 大道を体現して無常意を起こさん。自ら法に帰依し立てまする。まさに願わくは主情とともに各共造に入りて知恵海のごとくならん。自ら法に帰依し立てまする。まさに願わくは主情とともに大衆を通りして一切無限ならん。無常人人未明の方は百千万号にも愛をことかたし、我今検問し、時事することを得たり、願わくは如来の真実義を下し立てますらん。ノマンノプス、ノマンノプス。それでは引き続き言行。本日は十二来を一緒にいただきたいと思います。十二来は紫の聖典の63ページになっています。So we will now have the sutra chanting and we will be chanting the 十二来, which you'll find on page 63 of your purple seitan. Naman nops, naman nops, naman nops, naman nops. When we begin chanting, maybe we'll have everybody come up and offer incense. お勤めを始めますと、皆さんのお焼香をお願い申し上げます。し天に職業阿弥陀千両族尊在未明はなこ無量無死主いね自義心情尿線のシャーマナ行尿道部両目上脈小蓮法が将来未来尊面前上如満月以後有如千日月小如天国しら子が将来未来尊観音上大観地宇治主十名相小語の仏言道まけま子が将来未来尊無微無空五上上主の具現女国小さ利悪道具人大子が将来未来尊人も妙も菩薩衆無量上魔上三大一生修行が 조라이미라소 본다요겐진쇼게 쟁어조조벤자이자 오이자조녀세노 조라이미다소 지보조라이조브시 행행진드시아낙 행거성겐조극요 고가조라이미다소 쇼무조무가도 야근요스이가드대요 이시세 범무명지 고가조라이미다소 이사무세드무악으며 야금은 연이 아그노우 신인시신교이서 오가조라이미나소 이섬무려맹교 무조시아그지시기 오조다시보다 오가조라이미라소 가세의성의동그지 녀가이스 쇼야그생어 쇼조샤 에세신요 쇼히도 나만나부 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 간이식도그 묘도세이사이 노드보나 Nomanovs, 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 Nomanovs. Please join me in reading the English translation, which you'll find either on page 70 of your purple Satan or on the screen. The 12 Adorations, Junirai translation. Before Amida Buddha, whom heavenly beings worship, I humble myself in deepest reverence. In his wondrous land of bliss, surrounded is he by countless bodhisattvas. His golden form shines forth pure like the king of Mount Sumeru. His practice of truth is steadfast like an elephant's pace. His eyes radiate like clear blue lotus blossoms. Thus I prostrate myself before Amida Buddha. His countenance is perfectly pure and round like the full moon. His majestic light shines like 1,000 suns and moons. His voice is like a heavenly drum, yet like a heavenly bird, kokila. Thus I prostrate myself before Amida Buddha. Avalokesvara wears upon his crown the image of Amida adorned with many precious jewels. He subdues the arrogance of demons and heretics. Thus I prostrate myself before Amida Buddha. Incomparable, vast, and pure his virtues are, clearly extending like vast open space, his acts freely benefiting all. Thus I prostrate myself before Amida Buddha. Bodhisattvas from the 10 quarters and countless maras, demons, always venerate him. He dwells with vow power for the sake of all beings. Thus I prostrate myself before Amida Buddha. In the golden treasure pond where the lotus flowers bloom, established with goodness is a wondrous throne, where reigns the Buddha like the king of the mounts. Thus I prostrate myself before Amida Buddha. From the 10 quarters, bodhisattvas come. Revealing wondrous powers, they attain blissful state. Honoring his face, they offer eternal homage. Thus I prostrate myself before Amida Buddha. All things are transient and without self. Like the moon on water, lightning, shadow, or the dew, the Dharma cannot be expressed by words, the Buddha proclaimed. Thus I prostrate myself before Amida Buddha. No words of evil are in his land, no fear of evildoers, no evil paths. With sincere heart, all beings worship him. Thus I prostrate myself before Amida Buddha. His land of infinite expediencies is without degenerate things or wicked beings. Upon rebirth, non-retrogressive bodhi does one attain. Thus I prostrate myself before Amida Buddha. Thus have I praised the virtues of Amida Buddha. Boundless are they like the water of the sea. Upon receiving these pure and good qualities, may all beings be reborn into his land. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. I'd like to give my Dharma talk now. I'm going to say a few words in Japanese first, and then English afterwards. 日本語でまず最初に一言お話しして、英語でその後お話しさせていただきたいと思います。So if you don't understand Japanese, you can look out over the beautiful wisteria place now. I used to say you can look out at the park, but now I have to say you can look out at wisteria place. Okay? 今日はですね、ご三代に、先ほど三期右衛門いただいた文をもう一度、一番最後の文をいただきたいと思います。もしよかったら10ページになっていますので、10ページの一番下の方ですね。無常人人未明の方は、百千万号にも愛をことかたし、 我今検問し、従事することを得たり、願わくは如来の真実義を下し立て祭らんのものです。この文章はですね、私には非常に、懐かしいというか、親しみがある文なんですね。なぜかと申しますと、私が、日本で留学してた頃、もう30年以上前の話、35年近くですね。1年間ですね、私、中央仏教学院という学校に、通うことになったわけです。私が、この僧侶の勉強しに行こうと思った時ですね、あれは1987年だったんですが、その当時はですね、アメリカのカリフォルニアのバークリーにも、Institute of Buddhist Studies という、学校があったわけですね。で、そこに行く一つの選択肢もあったし、あるいは日本に直接行く方っていうことがあったんですね。で、私の父がですね、皆さんご存知の開教師であって、父が、北米開教区の開教師たちといろいろ話を聞いたんですよ。この Institute of Buddhist Studies、バークリーにある学校に行くべきなのか、日本に行った方がいいのか。ね。で、他の開教師たちは、いや、日本語わかるんだったらそれは日本に行った方がいいと。いろんな、ご縁が広がるっていうことですね。そして私が行ったわけですよ、日本に。もう何にも知らなかったんですよね。で、行ったらですね、まず、私が最初に思ったのは、龍谷大学の大学院に入ろうと、そればっかり思ってたんですよ。そしたら私は日本に行って半年間はですね、日本語を学ぶ特別コースを受けたわけなんです。まあ、日本語わかると言っても、ずっとこちらで育ったもんなので、もう本当に、歌事っていうぐらいしか日本語できなかったんですよ。どれだけひどかったかっていうと、高校時代に、高校時代というか、もうね、まあ、高校時代でもいいか。私たちの、私の母がですね、京都出身で、年に一度、お正月だけには、母の実家に電話をしてたわけです。その当時はまだ遠距離電話っていうのはまだかなりお金かかったわけなので、年に一度だけの挨拶ですね。で、その時に皆さん、私と兄弟が、挨拶を順番にしなければならない。で、明けましておめでとうございます。今でも言えない。明けましておめでとうございますっていう言葉を出すだけでも、かなり苦労した覚えがあるんですね。それだけ日本語でできなかったわけです。で、日本行って半年間日本語を勉強して、で、その間にですね、流大の教授の、といろいろ出会って、私の、指導教授がいたわけなんですけど、その浅井上海先生という先生で、その先生が私にはアドバイスをくれたんですね。この、流大の大学院に直接入ってもいいけど、それよりも進めるのは、1年間だけでもいいから、この中央仏教学院に行きなさいよって言われたんですよ。で、それはなぜ、そう進められたかというと、この中央仏教学院というのは、これは専門校であって、要は僧侶になる人のための専門なんですね。だから、お勤めの仕方とかですね、衣の、ちゃんと、着せ方とかですね。で、そういう、僧侶になるための基本のことを教えている。浄土真宗の僧侶ですね。で、そこに行くことになったんですよ。で、その一番最初に、開口の下って言って、毎朝ですね、 まずお勤めで始めるわけです。そして本堂で皆さんが座って、当番制でこのお内陣に上がったりするわけなんです。で、誰かこの、長唱といってこのお経をリードする人、あるいは法話をする人、あるいは鐘を鳴らす人、いろいろ順番が回ってくるわけですね。で、終わったらその先生たちがそれを評論するわけですね。で、その他にそれをお参りが終わったら今度、教室行って一日授業を受けるわけですね。今ずっと衣を着たまま授業を受けるんですが、その授業の一番最初に、この開口の下って言って、この文章、先ほどいただいた、この帰教文の一番最後の文をいただくわけなんですね。無常人人未明の方は百千万号にも愛を深たし、我今検問し、受事することを得たり、願わくは如来の真実義を消し立てまつらん。まあ、これはですね、仏法に出会うことがですね、百千万号にも愛を深たし、どれだけ難しいか。で、仏教の例えではですね、海にですね、目が見えないウミガメが泳いでて、100年に一遍その亀がですね、息を取るために上がってくる。水面まで上がってくるんですね。で、その時にですね、たまたまそこに、板が、流木ですかが流れてるわけで、その流木の中に穴があるわけなんですね。で、その100年に一遍目が見えない亀が息を取るために上がってきたときに、たまたまその頭がその流木のその穴のとこに頭がポコッと浮かぶ。それだけ、まあ、珍しいっていうもの、ね。まあ私たちが、これは何を言ってるかというと、いろんな様々な因と縁がなければ、こうやって皆さんと一緒にいることはないっていうことですね。で、それは、まあ私たちはこれを仏法をいただくのには何をしているかというと、まあ、仏の心、願いを聞かせていただくために、こうやって集まっている。で、この願いというのは何かというと、私たちが生かされている命、いただいている命がある。そしてその、生かされている命に気づかせていただいた時の感謝の心が生まれてくる。これがお念仏なんですね。私にとっては。だから、今週末は、まあ、今日は敬老会でもあり、また、Thanksgiving でもあります。で、やはり、Thanksgiving というと感謝祭ですね。で、感謝というのは私たちにとっては、これはお念仏、仏法に出会わせていただいた感謝。それによって生かせている命があるということで、私たちの感謝に対する、表し方は、やっぱり手を合わせてお念仏を唱えることだったということを、今日、日本語の方で、紹介したかったということで、最後になりますが、皆さんと一緒にもう一度、合唱してお念仏を唱えさせていただきたいと思います。ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏。Once again, good morning, everyone. And I'm going to actually, today we've gathered here for our Keirokai. Following this service, we'll be having our Keirokai starting at 12 noon. But it's also, of course, all of you know, it's also Thanksgiving weekend. And I'm sure some of you are in the midst of preparing for Thanksgiving meals as well. But I wanted to share with you, this is kind of, I don't know if any of you, I'm sure some of you know who Gary Larson is. I know Reiner probably knows, and Maya knows. He's a cartoonist who became very popular in the 70s, 80s, maybe 80s and 90s. And a very satirical cartoonist. And one of my favorite cartoons. I'm just going to bring it on the screen here. And I'll share it with the people at home as well. Should come up. Okay, it's okay. So this is the cartoon, and there's two, I don't know, budgies or parakeets inside a cage, and there's two kids with they're doing a wishbone, which I know I did when I was a kid around Thanksgiving, and it says at the bottom here, now here comes the barbaric finale. So the two parakeets are talking with each other, and they're looking at these two kids breaking the wishbone, and it says, now here comes the barbaric finale. Okay. So it's all about perspective. You know, we think we're enjoying Thanksgiving meals and we eat them with great joy. And then to these birds, of course, they look at it as very barbaric, which in fact, when you think about it, it is in fact very barbaric what we do. In fact, interesting fact, after this cartoon came out in the syndicated papers, there were some, I think I read something about 10 states in the States actually banned this practice of wishbone making a wish. I don't know how they enforce that, but anyways, talking about this perspective, this is something that my father actually made a Dharma talk about. He had, when he was still a student, I think this was when he was going to U of T, he was actually invited over for a Thanksgiving meal to a family's place. And he went there for the meal. And according to my father, he said that the turkey was really dry and it wasn't that tasty, is what my father said, right? But apparently, the kids, the two sons of the family, when they were having dinner, they were commenting, "Oh, mom's turkey is the best in the world." And my father said he felt kind of embarrassed that he was feeling this way. But he realized at that point about perspective is that, you know, we may think something is not that good, but that's because it's my perspective, right? But to somebody else, it's the best food in the world, right? So when we think about this in the Buddhist teachings, we talk about learning to see things as it truly is and understanding that often my life, I look at things through my rose-colored glasses, my egocentric self. And when I do so, I don't really see the truth of the world. And so as we gather here for this Keirokai, as well as for the Thanksgiving weekend, it is a time for us to reflect and to see perhaps a greater picture of the oneness that exists. During the Keirokai luncheon today, as we were preparing for this luncheon, I came across an interesting, it was from 2014 Keirokai slideshow, and I'm going to show you that today, and it'll bring back a lot of perspective to you as you watch that. But it is a time of us to give thanks. And as I was saying in the Buddhist or in the Japanese Dharma talk, I read the bottom part of the three treasures. And if you open your books to page 11, the very last paragraph of this homage and three treasure Kyomon, even through myriads of kalpas, hard it is to hear such excellent, profound teachings. Now we are able to hear and receive them. Let us try to understand the Tathagata's teachings. I had to read this passage along with my classmates. Every morning, I was attending a school called the Central Buddhist Academy, or Chuo Bukkyo Gakuin in Japanese. And when I was studying as a student in Japan, I attended this school for a year. It's a seminary school, Jodo Shinshu Buddhist Seminary School for individuals who want to become ministers. And at the beginning of each morning, before we start classes, we would read this one passage. And it was to show how rare it is that we are able to encounter these teachings. In the Buddhist analogy, there's an analogy of a blind turtle, sea turtle, who swims in the ocean and only comes up for breath once every 100 years. And the moment that it comes up for breath, it said that there's a driftwood that's drifting in the ocean. And that driftwood has a hole in the center of it. And it said the chances of that turtle, once in every 100-year, blind turtle coming to the surface, poking its heads up, and it happens to come through that hole in that driftwood. That's how rare it is, okay? And so the rarity of encountering these teachings, and when we think about all the past conditions that have gone into us being here today for this Keirokai and Thanksgiving weekend, it is truly amazing that we're able to encounter these teachings. And the teachings of the Buddha basically is there to make us remind ourselves, to awaken ourselves to the truth of existence, to the oneness that exists in all existence. And so our way of expressing that appreciation and thanksgiving, it is really appropriate, is that we do put our hands together in Gassho and recite the Nembutsu. So at this time, if I can ask you again to please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo. This will conclude the service for this morning. これをもちまして本日のお参りはこれで終わります。これから先、しばらく、時間がありますが、ぼちぼちその向こうの、ウィスティリアプレイスのですね、マルティプロペス部屋で敬老会、12時から始めますが、その前から皆さん向こうの方に、今日は天気もいいし、外でも、しばらくいても構いませんので、向こうに行って12時から敬老会を始めさせていただきたいと思います。So this will conclude our regular morning. Oh, yes, and also thank you for that reminder, Rainer. Before or as you go towards that, this is good that we have some time. As you go towards the to the multi-purpose room, just beside our kitchen, there's a new room that we built, and Rainer is actually going to be taking photographs of everybody. So please go in there, and he's got it set up as a studio. So we'll go and have everybody can have their pictures taken as you go in there. And these pictures are very important because in future Keirokais, we do show these pictures as well. And so please enjoy a few moments of getting your picture taken. So this will conclude the service, and we'll close with the Nembutsu. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimashita. Was audio okay for you today?
It was good.
It was better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a happy Thanksgiving to everybody on Zoom.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.